Stay focused. Stay focused. Stay focused. Stay focused. Stay focused. Yeah.
Mike Martinez.
Stay focused, made a plan, roll it up and put it in a win. I was made for this, space water, baby, I'm a champion. That lady said, boy, you haven't sent. Take the throne, want you, but I don't want it, cause it gets lonely, but I need money, plus the streets love me. And y'all ready?
Are the mics on? Mics working?
Mic's on.
Cool.
All right,
How
let's
close
do
we
it.
how close we gotta be?
Like that? Yeah. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Yo, welcome back to another episode of the Flow3r Hour Podcast. And I'm your host, the one and only Brown Skin Moses. I got special guests in here today. This is a band from Portland. They go by the name of the Lxcals. What's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
Doing good.
Chilling.
So yeah, first off, I just want to let y'all introduce yourselves, so let everybody know who y'all are.
I'm Dante Smith. I play bass and sometimes guitar in the band.
I'm Andrew Francisco. I play the drums.
I'm X. I do vocals.
I'm Kucho. I play lead guitar.
Lead guitar, got you. So first off, I just want to say thank you guys for coming through and being a guest on my show and shit, man. I've been seeing you guys do your thing, man. Last time I seen y'all was at one of the Friends of Noise concerts, man, and y'all killed it, dude. Yeah, man. Yep. So my first question is, where y'all guys originally from, and how does where you from affect your music? This is 2-part.
Southeast Portland. Yeah, we're local.
Gotcha. Pretty much, okay. And how does being local affect like your creativity?
I think for us, like, we come from like the outer skirts of Portland, like the southeast and whatever. So, and we're all from the same neighborhood. And over there, it's like you get the variety because it is kind of hood. It is like you're getting that element into it. It's not a easy neighborhood. You are got obstacles and a bunch of shit, and you're growing up and you're like trying to figure this shit out. So for us, I feel like we grew up in that, but we kind of always had that creativity or that like need or want to like create. And even though it felt like in our environment, like that's not possible, we just kind of like we're like, fuck, we're gonna do it.
So the environment pretty much kind of like stagnated you guys a little bit. You feel like?
I think it's the thing that like it's like that no pressure, no diamond.
Gotcha.
So it was tough, but it made us kind of get craftier with how we were gonna execute whatever it is we wanted to do.
For sure. How long you guys been a band?
Ooh, there's like eras and
Decades.
sagas and different like
Different villains come and go.
yeah, different villains come and go. We've been performing, I think maybe since 2012.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've gone through like various evolutions as a band, I think.
So you guys were bigger, and then you downsized.
Yeah, I think initially we started off as a collective, and the idea was kind of to follow that same Odd Future, ASAP Mob kind of format, and we all just created and collaborated and stuff like that.
We came up with the idea first.
Yeah, we came up with the idea first.
Gotcha.
No, but the idea was like we wanted something original. We wanted something like that was gonna be a group. And originally we were just producing beats. We were using FL, like we were using what we had, but we wanted to add that rock element, that instrumentation element, and have something like fuse the both. And but then we had to pick up the instruments and learn that, and that was a whole different process. So it kind of we evolved, I think, through the years. But me and him, I think he was the first drummer for our band, and then we went through like a phase where everyone kind of like split up and then he returned and now he's drumming for us again.
Gotcha. So you left the band and then you came back. When you left the band, did you go do something solo or you just stopped doing music period together?
I found my true calling. I decided to follow my dream of working in an Amazon warehouse. So that was cool.
Got you. So who's you guys is would you say who's you guys is like biggest inspiration, pretty much?
I would say we have a variety. I think that's what makes us like great as a band is like we all have similar tastes, but we also come with our own palette of influences. Like for me, I'm definitely on the hip hop bass. Like that's where I learned how to make music and all that stuff. But we also like I like Santana. We grew up with like the Spanish rock, Latin rock, corridos,
Corrido.
um, classic rock, psychedelic. We like to keep that. That's another thing. Is like we like to keep an open ear to just music. Like if it's good, we'll pull from it. Just want to add.
Yeah, we like stuff that's cool. That's
Dope
usually
shit, only bangers.
yeah, that's kind of our benchmark. If it's not cool, then you know we just don't like it.
For sure, for sure. Gotcha. So, what's your favorite album from you guys? It's like from your catalog. What's your favorite album?
From what we make, or just in general, like in
Yeah,
existence?
no, from what you guys have made, like as a group. But you guys are working on the album right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Working on
my
an E-
favorite is definitely the EP that we're going to be
Yeah.
releasing.
Gotcha.
in
So
the
let's
next
talk a
couple
little bit
months,
about
yeah.
that EP. What should the
It's
fans be expecting?
5 songs total. 5 songs total. So yeah, not 2, not 3. It's all very Spanish rock influence. That's kind of where the sound where we're at with it. All real instruments, real guitar, bass, drums. So very rooted in the real band. And it's crazy. It's just a combination of all these different genres together, and I think it's a good representation of where we are now and where we're going to be going for the new year.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would add to that. We wrote this last EP or this EP that we're about to release during that pandemic era, and we were heavily inspired by the corrido tumbado movement, which is this new movement where it's Mexican like music, but it's more modern, it's more urban, it's like that trap music but in Spanish.
Okay. So like reggaeton, but
No,
the
it's not
Mexican version?
reggaeton. It's corridos, but
Corridos.
it's like urban. Like it's like a new spin. It's like a newer generation spin on it. So we were influenced by like Junior H, Nata Elcano, and like the Rancho Humilde and all that movement. And then when Bad Bunny and all that stuff, so we that Latin music popping kind of like inspired us to make our version of it, and we kind of created what we have with this.
With guitar solos and drum riffs and a bunch of crazy things added to it.
Yeah.
Keeping like that rock appeal there,
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's definitely like the locals version of that music.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. When do you guys feel like it's the best time to create?
2 in the morning when I wake up and just pick up a guitar. It's just-
Literally, I was about to say in the
Yeah.
middle of the night. Yeah, at nighttime.
It's like my brain's like tired, and it's like I just start kind of not hallucinating, but like I'm just like in my zen state where everybody's like, I know everybody's sleeping, I know nobody's gonna bug me, I don't have anything to worry about, and like I'm just like at my peak like calmest moment, and just like smoke a bit and then just start writing.
That's when the ideas start coming in. Yep.
Yeah.
I like that. What about you? What you think?
Yeah, I would say for me it's this thing I've had to learn to balance now because it's like as we're growing as a band, we're also growing as a business and agency and all that stuff. So I've had to kind of learn it's like, all right, paperwork, all that stuff, that's daytime. Like that's when my mind's sharp. That's what I gotta do. Nighttime, like these guys say, it's like that's the best time for creativity because it's like you shut off the world. It's not about anything that's going on outside. I'm now in tune with what's going on with me, and that's when I'm flowing. That's when I'm throwing it out.
What about you? What you feel? What you think?
Yeah, I guess the night kind of makes sense. It's tricky though. It's like with all the time in the day that you're working or doing what you gotta do to like pay the bills. It's definitely a trade-off. Like getting home and then diving into just letting yourself relax and get into that state of mind. It can be a challenge, but that's why I feel like our shit is so different. Like yeah, we all work jobs. Gucci's over here with 3 jobs and stuff, but it's through that we it means more when we create it, and it's a lot of work that we put into it.
Yeah. Like it's like that pent up. Like the whole day we have to go do. We gotta go do what we gotta do. But like all day we're running ideas. We're running this. So
Yeah,
like
that's what I
nighttime
was
we want
gonna
to
ask you.
spill. Like we were like, all right, man, we want to like throw it all like all day. I've been having these things in my head. I gotta put them out.
Gotcha. So you guys like take your individual ideas and then you bring them to the band and like, hey, what do you guys think of this? We should try this, y'all. That's how y'all create pretty much. as a band?
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Gotcha.
what makes a band for sure.
Hell yeah.
It's the respect involved mashing into, out. The best part.
It's kind of like some needle shit. Is like Kucho will just come with like one riff and he'll be like, hey, what do you think about this? You know what I mean? And we'll play it and we're like, okay. And then I'll be like, what if we go here with it? And then boom, now we got a second part going within like 20 minutes, you know? So it's just, you just think of one idea and you shoot the shot, and if it works, then fire. If it doesn't, we just go to the next idea, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're pretty much the Beatles of our generation.
Talk that shit.
Real
Talk
shit,
that
real
shit.
shit. Like that is what we strive for. Like we, on top of making the music that we're making and doing everything we want, like the idea has always been we don't want to just be a band. Like we came from like that hip hop mentality, and like we want to make it be something, but at the same time, like we want to be like the Rolling Stones. We want to be a band that has a unique stamp on the timeline of music, and it has something that's fresh, it's new, but it's when the chops are there, the chops are there. Like we put in the work, and I think that's what makes us great too. Is Kucho's a phenomenal guitar player. Like he'll just like throw a little quick solo, and we'll be like, oh, something like this, and we're like, yeah, exactly like that. And he's great with just music overall. He's a multi-producer and does bass and all these other things, so he understands music really well, and he knows how to like. I could have a simple riff. I barely play, but I'll come with a simple riff, and they'll know how to make something out of that.
Gotcha. I think that's dope. Actually. My next question would be like, what are some of the challenges? Like, I'm gonna piggyback off of what you were saying. What are some of the challenges of not only just being a band, but trying to do music, in this climate?
Yeah, I mean the obvious answer is it's 4 people. So like figuring out scheduling and being able to make time out of our 9 to 5s or whatever grind we've got going on, making the time. I mean that goes for people. Just like, that's I think the tricky part, being able to find
Got
with all the other shit we got going on, but
Yeah, for sure. When I came to your studio, when you guys practiced, man, I seen your whiteboard, and y'all already mapped out all the way out to what is it? August, next August. So
Yeah,
that's pretty.
August.
That's pretty dope, man.
I think that's the thing too. Is we work crazy hard. Like that's the thing, and I think a lot of people don't understand. It's like to be good at a craft, to be good at that level, it is a lot of work. It's a lot of sacrifice, and I think a lot of us here, like we sacrifice a lot of that. We make that time. We figure out how to work our schedules, and another thing is like because we come from again that environment where we didn't really have resources. We didn't have a lot of people. We had to create a lot of our own opportunities, and we're at a stage. Like we've pretty much built everything we've done from the mud up,
Gotcha.
and we're here.
Now you guys just ready for the next level. You guys are ready to
Exactly.
be put on a bigger platforms and shit like that.
Which is crazy too, because and you were there. We were mentioning that same stories. Like we were pre-pandemic, we were there. We got that Hollywood call. We were like, yeah.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
So like they were like, hey, la la la. I'm not even gonna name the names, but it was these big Hollywood producers, and pre-pandemic, we thought we made it.
They offered you guys a contract, pretty much a recording contract.
They pretty much offered us. They're like, yeah, you'd come down and we'd figure out the recording contract and all that. They were talking even movies. They were talking all, big talk. And it didn't happen. But there's another thing too. It's like it's just kind of like what's meant to be is meant to be, because like Dante can speak more on this. He's just got signed to TM88.
Okay.
So he's part of the Crash Dummies
you signed
record
the
label.
deal.
Yeah, I signed like a producer agreement with
shout out your people, man.
Yeah, with Crash Dummy. Shout them out because they're all fire.
All
All
of
three of
them
them.
working.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was just this year. It was like earlier in summer.
How did that happen? How did that happen for you?
Well, I was just posting like YouTube videos, because going back to like our sound of like we wanted to be, with the instruments, but like incorporate rap music. Like I would just pick big songs that I really liked from hip hop music and just layer guitars in them as if they like recorded the track with the guitar in there in the first place, you know, and I would just post them and post them. And so I would just keep adding like TM because I loved him as a producer a lot, and I would just at him. I would pick the beats he made for these songs and just keep adding him on Twitter for like years, and like eventually they noticed, you know. And then one thing led to another. Yeah, it's just that persistent shit. And so I was like, okay, this incorporates what we want as a whole with like combining genres, you know, and the folks in rap music I think understand us the best. So I wanted a connection with people that really had their pulse in the industry. And he was always one of my absolute favorite producers. So I was like, I'm just going to keep playing instrumentals that he made or beat he did for like Drake, Travis, or whatever, and just keep trying to get their attention, just trying to work with them, you know?
For sure.
And now we're working every day, you know? Now we're talking every day about writing songs together and what artists we're working for 2023 and how we're going to try and leverage that for everyone's success as a whole.
Awesome. For those who don't know, tell people a little bit about who T88 is and who crashed them.
Yeah, TM88 is a legendary producer out of Atlanta, Georgia. Very, very
ATL stand up. We out here in the Pacific Northwest talking about the ATL right now.
Exactly. Yeah. He's definitely has a major responsibility in what makes Atlanta what it is today, in my opinion. He's worked with some of the biggest, artists like Drake and Travis and all those guys, and has been monumental in their careers. And still to this day is working. You know, he just did Puffin' on Zooties for Future. You know, he
that's
did.
TAA?
Yeah, he did.
That's one of my favorite songs.
Way Too Sexy for Drake. Like he's been putting out the biggest singles for these folks. You know, so it's cool to see that happen and be a part of his label and the team that he's building up of these super talented producers, all coming together to try and create more and more material for these artists.
Awesome. Well, you guys are
only associated with hot shit.
Y'all listen, y'all on y'all way, man. You know,
we on the way. Like
stick to the script.
We're on a. I think for all of us, we've gone to this. You know, there's levels to this shit, and I feel like we've grown in a variety of different ways, not just artistically, but as people. And I think part of that is because we've been on this journey. This journey has challenged us in a variety of different ways, not just creatively, like personal life gets in the mix, and all these things happen. And consistency, persistence, continuing to have obstacles come in your way and trying to figure out we're gonna have to make this happen one. But I think that's one thing that we've always had. You know, we come from that rock rap shit, so it's like in the beginning stages it was live fast, die young shit, and it was get rich or die trying mixed together. Where it was like we were gonna make this shit happen no matter what. We came from a neighborhood and an environment that was like, no one was going to give a shit regardless. No one was going to give us the opportunity.
And we had no ties to anyone in the industry. Like, there's no ties to any music industry out here at all. You know, you're completely on your own when it comes to that and trying to build any relationships out here.
Yeah, so basically, like, you developing, you're building your brand, and when the opportunity presents itself, you be ready pretty much. At least it gives you that opportunity to develop the sound or, you know, where you want to go pretty much.
Yeah, and I will add to that too is it took like this ain't fast food shit. Like for what we're making is gourmet because you know it no real shit.
Talk that shit.
Because think about it. Like not only did we have to learn how to make rap. Like I remember I remember we were young trying to tell people, yeah, we're gonna make a rock rap band, but it's not gonna be Rage Against the Machine. It's gonna sound like rap music you hear on the radio, but with live instrumentations and solos and all that shit, and it's gonna be live. People looked at us like we were crazy. You get a couple of years now, everybody's trying to be a rock star.
Exactly.
We know how to play the instruments. We rap. We do the whole fucking nines. And at this point, it's like it took us a while to develop that. It was hard. We had to learn. I mean, we picked up as rap was moving. We picked up from Lil Uzi, from Cardi, from Lil Peep, from XXXTentacion. And then as the music progressed, we progressed as well. And then the chops kept going. So like it did take us a while to get this sound, but we have it now.
Yeah.
It's developed.
Yeah, I think folks just don't realize how much serious time it takes to like pick up the instruments and get good at them, you know, especially if you want to be like, I want to be one of the best, you know, whatever instrument you're playing. And you want to do it in an industry where not a lot of you're kind of shooting in the dark, you know, with how you want to take it. You got to practice a lot and really learn your craft, and it literally just takes years. I don't really know how else to put it for folks that it's just every day for years. You have to pick up that instrument or
That's right.
produce a song every day. It's so crucial, you know.
Oh yeah, man. Like the late great Nipsey said, man, it's a marathon, man.
It's a marathon.
You know, this shit is not a sprint. You know. So how do you guys define success?
When I bought my mama a house, honestly.
Yeah. All our mom was getting cribs.
No, like, I think, for me at least, like, success is just being able to do what I like doing.
Mm.
Like, being able to have that freedom to just kind of, like, pick a day and be like, you know, I'm just going to go out and cook up, do my thing, play
Mhm.
some music, record what I can, and then just go from there. And I don't have to worry about anything really, like, going, like, oh, I got 2 hours to, like, play music, then I got to go to sleep at 5, wake up at 11, go to work, do my thing at work, go to my other job, and go home, and then have time to, like, eat, be with my girlfriend, walk my dog, spend time with family, all this other crap. Like, I think success for me is just, like, being able to just do what I love and having that freedom. I think that's at that point, once I can do that and not have to worry about, like, all the extra bullshit, like, of just, like, living in, like, capitalism and shit. I
Time
think
is a
that's
hell
like
of a
when
drug.
I reached like my
It is.
success. Because for me, it's really just like reaching that zen point where I just don't have to worry about shit anymore. Where I
Gotcha.
could just live.
Yeah, and I'd say that, like, man, I mentioned before, like, we come. I couldn't say that our stories are like the worst, but I could definitely tell you we ain't no stranger to the funk, and we've definitely been through some shit. And we don't come from much, man. Like, we grew up in like that kind of survival mindset where it's scarcity. Like, we didn't have much. We didn't this and that. We didn't even feel like half the shit we've gotten to this level was even possible.
Mm.
Coming from where we come from. Now we're here, and I would say, like, it kind of shows it's like we kind of, regardless of the situations, regardless of how many times we've been told, hey, why don't you get a regular job? Why don't you go do this? Why don't you? We kind of know who we are and what we are,
Mhm.
and we've
That's
just
the
been
most important
and
thing.
we've just been fighting to be that. So I think that's what success will be. We're no longer fighting to be what we always know we are.
I respect that. What about you?
I mean, that's kind of a mic drop right there. I feel.
We is what we ain't. We'll never be.
Facts.
No, that's true. Being able to have time to, meaningful things like people that you love, and be able to take care of people without, just going through a slog. Like, I kind of like what Kucha was saying. Like, just to have that freedom. I mean, that's huge.
I agree. Freedom is definitely success. What about you, bro? What do you think?
Yeah.
How do you define this?
It's escaping the means of capitalism is literally like I just
Getting out of
don't
the
wanna-
matrix.
I don't want to be where I don't want to be for 9 hours. You know what I mean? That's just, it sounds like hell. And so for me, it's just like, if I don't even need to be rich. Like, I just want to be able to escape that and be able, like, I feel like going to this country in a few weeks. Let me book a trip there. And it don't have to be nothing crazy. It's just being able to control my time, control my destiny, and have the financial and equity means to do so. That's really all I want, success-wise.
Oh yeah. For me, I define success as, like you said, man, being able to do what you want to do when you want to do it. Like I want to be in control of my own time. That's success for me. So, my next question would be, how long have you guys? You said you guys have been in the band for how long? How long did it take you guys to develop?
I
your
would
sound?
say we've been in it, like I said, different evolutions, but I think 10+ years.
10+ years.
Yeah.
And it's taking you how long to develop the sound that you guys have now?
I think the whole
yeah,
time,
yeah.
because because from the beginning, and we just met the Chris. We were a band trying to do rap music, from the get-go, and we didn't exactly know all the mechanics and how to blend it and how to make it happen.
Yeah.
But that was from 10 years ago, from the initial beginning. We already had the vision for what it is we were trying to build. We already knew what it is that we wanted to do and how we wanted to do it. The rest was figuring out how to get it there.
Right, because because a lot of bands they try to find their sound. So sometimes you come out sounding like other people until you come into your own. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, we were just picking up the instruments then, you know what I mean? So we kind of had like the dream before we had this technical skill set to write the songs to make the dream happen, you know? So back like 10 years ago, I was just picking up instruments and like, okay, how do I literally play this thing? You know what I mean? And that's where I come back with like, it just took a ton of time to actually get good at them. And like, well, now I need to listen to jazz to understand how those dudes do it. And then how do the punk dudes do it? And trying to take the pieces you like, you know, and building your own thing with it. And it just takes serious time.
Yeah, and I will say, like, at this 10 years, you know, I don't know what that saying goes with, like, 10,000 hours to become a master or something like that. I feel like we've put in that work and we've done our research and we've studied the greats. Like, in order to be great, you got to know what greatness is. And we've studied it down to, like, what is the formula? Where did they learn what they learned? And we study the track of history. We're very in tune with history of music and how it moves, and we want to be part of that staple.
Because I feel like once you see that, like, because we're talking about genre, like blending and bending, right? Like, you got to know, like, okay, so why did heavy metal evolve from that? And so who's the parent of that? And so on until you get to like 1940s blues, you know what I mean? And once you start seeing like, okay, these chord progressions overlap with these chord progressions, it never changes. Let's take that because it's always stayed consistent, you know? And you start piling up those pieces, then you have what's that saying where it's like good artists copy but great artists steal? It's like you got to be able to know to take the nuggets of these different genres, put them together and craft something for yourself. And that's kind of where the rock history, music history comes into play.
And that's like I remember I was really inspired by like the emergence of hip hop when it first created, like in the I think like the 70s, and that was the same time like New York punk music was happening. That's like you get Rick Rubin and you get that. So I was like, hip hop and punk music, rock music was always like synonymous, and they never blended. And that's kind of what the idea was with us. It was like organically, what if they were both mixed like that, and they were playing the instruments and making beats and stuff like that, and that both cultures were mixed, and that's kind of what we brought to the style and what we were trying to gun for. Yeah, I lost my train of thought, but that's kind of the idea. Yeah.
Nah, definitely. You guys sound like you were students of the game, pretty much.
Yeah, we're pretty much a cover band in disguise.
Hey, you got to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere, man. Let me ask y'all this. Let's pivot a little bit. Do you think that it's the artist's job to be socially conscious?
I think you have to be conscious somewhat socially if you're getting your art out there and you want people to see how you express yourself. You got to know, how to get it.
Yeah, you got to know how to get people to fuck with you to begin with. So you have to have some sort of consciousness of what gets people riled up.
It also kind of depends on the artist, because there's a lot of people out here that like they just want to make music. They don't care who's listening to it and like who it's reaching. They just want to make music, and that's pretty much their whole like thing. They don't really plan on getting anywhere with it, and they just want to make some music, and that's totally fine. But then like sometimes that kind of like fucks everything up, because there's other people that just want to like move forward with everything that's going on and like push their shit to other people around the world and all that. But then like this, like say the city's just crowded with just bands, singers, people just want to do it for fun, which is cool. But then it kind of like clouds over everybody else.
It dilutes it.
That's trying to push it even more.
Yeah, adding to that, I mean, like, I don't believe anybody has the responsibility to be socially conscious or aware or have like, we don't have to be, right? But I feel like if you're in tune and you're here and you're kind of at that level where you kind of understand, it's like, nah, it's not just you and everything we do. It's like, it's not about what you do, it's how you do it. And if you're mindlessly doing something, it could have consequences that you may not intended, but you weren't paying attention.
The power of music, man.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like, music's very powerful. That's why it's lived on for ages in our history as just us as humans. Like, music has always translated messages, has always got people riled up, has always evoked that emotion in people. So I think it's definitely something to think about. I don't think anybody has a responsibility, but, at a certain point, I feel like you should be aware of your power if it is reaching people.
I agree with that. I think it's up to the artist to decide, whether if he wants to be conscious or not. You know what I mean? Because, but the world's changing, man. So
I'd like to take this moment to say, kids, stay in school.
Stay in school. I like that message. And kids, don't do drugs either.
Very
Don't
good.
do drugs. Leave that to the professionals.
Yeah.
Okay?
Join
Straight
after
up.
school programs.
Don't try this at home.
At all.
Protest against the government.
All right, so my next question is, how do you guys navigate the music and the business, pretty much? Like, do you guys have, like, people set up to run this part, or, like, this guy handles the writing department, or this guy handles, booking the shows? And
We kind of are the people.
We are the people.
Yeah, but no, it's just like
you
it-
guys
it-
take on the roles.
we
as a
take on the
band.
role.
Gotcha.
Like
Yeah.
so, if something kind of just fits somebody, it's like, oh, like since you have a little bit more knowledge in this, we'll fit you in this role, and then we'll push this role into this other person since they're able, like they're more connected into this. This is really what we can like ourselves do that is similar to what we're trying to get to.
Yeah, I think we've always worked this way. I mean, like ideally, again, we were inspired by the Odd Future movement and the ASAP mobs and those like groups, and it's a meeting of great minds. We're all whatever we know, like when we're always trying to advance, and we're always bringing that to the table. And we do it all. We have a company now. It's All Love Always. That's our like creative agency. And I take some of the administration roles and stuff like that. Sometimes I'm playing producer. I'm wearing different hats, and we all wear different hats. It's just wherever we plug in and wherever we're useful, that's where we plug in and we make it happen. We coordinate.
Gotcha. So you guys don't outsource pretty much anything.
We do. I mean, for us, it's they kind of either have to work within our rhythm of how we're moving, or how to share the vision or understand where it is that we're trying to go. So we do outsource, or we'll collaborate with people that fit that line. But most of the time, it's like we're always kind of doing it ourselves. 'Cause I feel like that's when because we're all creative people and we have different talents and different visions, and I think we know how to like get what we want. We know what it is that we want, so it's like it has to match that. And I feel like we've kind of got comfortable. Now it's just owning that because we have the sauce. We kind of developed our style.
And I think with that too, that's why we try to kind of keep it all in house, or at least do a lot of the stuff ourselves. Because one, it's like a whole new learning experience trying to go out. Like when I started trying to get bands and like doing shows and stuff, I was just hitting up bands of like see what's up, like who has a show, anybody like know any drummers, anybody know any like buddy selling this stuff, just stuff like that. It kind of like helped you work on yourself as well with communication and just dealing with stuff that you don't know how to deal with. And then when the situation comes again back around, you're like, oh, I know exactly what we got to do to get to this point, because I know I've already worked on this. So like you build more, not like character, but you build more of like you're more conscious of like what you need to do now, rather than like scrambling like, oh, I need to figure this out. Like I'm go like you don't have to like immediately go hit somebody up and then be like, oh, here's all the information. Like, oh, okay, and then like you're done with that. And now it's not like really in your head, but more just like, I hired somebody to do this, and now I have this.
We got the experience. I mean, we know how to delegate. We know how to like, if we do hire people and stuff like that to do a project. But on top of learning instruments, I mean, he does graphic design. I do graphic design. We do like art and stuff like that. He does camera work. He does production design out of his other stuff. So we know how to do multiple things. And because again, as we've been progressing, we've always had to do multiple things. So we got good at doing multiple things.
Got you. Do you guys enjoy the business aspect of music?
And I've been getting more and more into it, and the more and more, I mean, it's
Be
business.
honest.
It's
Be honest. If you don't fuck with
nah,
it, be honest.
I'll say it's like it's
No.
cringe. It's cringe. It's cringe. It's straight up cringe. But
It is cringe.
it's cringe. But it's business, and I understand it on that standpoint. Like if I take that artistic mind out of it real quick and kind of see it from the perspective of like, if I was running a business and I'm trying to make it successful, and obviously my goal is to make profit, I got to see it that way. So I kind of understand why they run things a certain way and things like that. And to me, one of my goals with our business is I don't give a shit about that. Let's sow it and reap it, so it's us, and it kind of stands alone. It does its own thing. We can participate with the industry, but we build our own base. And we've seen a lot of labels do that, like TDE and like the independent labels. I mean, that we live in an era where a lot of that's possible. So we want to cultivate it where it's like we're in control the whole time. We only leverage and use that for partnerships for other industry things. But like, it's so cringe because it's like like TikTok thing is the thing right now where you gotta make the trendy TikTok song, or you gotta be like a show monkey and be like, hey, I got and that's not what we're about. We want to make dope shit that can stand the test of time and has a message and an impact that's positive in the world and be free while we're doing it.
Got plug your socials. Let people know where they can find you guys.
You can at Dante X Smith, and it's everywhere: Twitter, IG, TikTok, at Dante X Smith.
AOL Messenger.
AOL Messenger.
We got the locals. It's the.locals with an X, LXCALS. And you can follow me at X King of the West or at All Love Always.
You can find me at Cucho_Santiago. That's pretty much all I got. Instagram. I don't got no YouTube or anything else yet, so weird.
At Francesi.
Devil in Plain. Next question.
Click, follow, like, subscribe.
Yeah, do that.
Do all that.
Make sure y'all follow the homies, man. So let me ask you this. Do you guys network with other artists and other bands?
Yeah, all the time. I mean, it for us, it's got to be organic, and it has to feel like it's not an opportunistic thing, and it's also that we're valued.
But honestly, all of it is opportunity.
Well, it's all opportunity, but you get what I'm saying. It's like there's a difference between, oh, I'm gonna use you for what you got, as opposed to a collaboration where it's like, I'm gonna help you do what you're doing, and you're gonna help me doing what I'm doing.
Now, how do you know? How do you tell?
I never liked that vibe where people are like, you got to get out there and network to get something for you, and I'm like, it just seems fake to me. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather, like, it's important to put yourself out there and speak with people, but I just want it to be organic and natural and like a friendship, as well as a colleague or coworker or however we see it. And I always like the relationships to be natural and fluid, as opposed to like I'm going out to pursue to get something from somebody else. I don't know. Maybe that was just me, but I always just kind of wanted our relationships with other people just to feel natural, like with you, just like we just want, we're friends. We just want to, we want to work together and do things together, but it doesn't feel like rigid or forced or coarse.
Yeah, man. See, I think people got a warped perception of who I am. I think people might feel like I might be a little bit opportunistic, but it's really like I got my shit popping. I want to give you an opportunity to come on my platform and pop your shit, talk your shit. You know what I mean? I got me. I'm gonna do me regardless. You know what I mean? So yeah,
and that's the mindset we adopt. It's not about getting over on people,
right?
It's just about like we're all here in collaboration to help each other. Like obviously, everyone's got their boundaries or whatever it may be, or what they want, their agendas, but doesn't mean that I have to like completely just cut you off and then be like, I took this and you're still where you were at.
Yeah, I feel like I lead with giving, man. Like I feel like in order to receive, you gotta be a giver. You know what I mean? And that's who I am to my core. So if I meet a band or some artists and they, and the vibe is good, man, I'm like, man, come on, man, let's do this shit. Let's collaborate, man. I'm always open to collaborations, but I think people think that I'm like closed off and want to do everything on my own, but that's not the case at all. I'm forced to do everything on my own.
And that's like us. I mean, we don't outsource, and it's not because we're not open. We're always open to collab with people. We're always, but it's we want to be respected also for what we're giving.
Fact.
That's part of it.
If a label comes tomorrow and says, the locals, we like what you guys are doing. We believe in your vision. We believe in your talent. And we'd like to offer you guys a deal.
Yes.
And and they say,
where do I sign?
And but they want to take a percentage of the company, pretty much. They want to take, like, because you said you guys have a company.
Yeah, a production company.
And they want like 20 or 50% of the business. Like, how would you guys go into that, like that kind of offer?
I think, I mean, we and the things that we've thought about. I mean, we got that call the first time. Pre-pandemic, we didn't have no production company. We didn't have no LLC. That happens. We're like, oh shit, what if they don't come or we don't have our P's and Q's in order? So that's when we started it, and now we're like growing and growing in that aspect as well. And I think at this point, it's the same way we talk. It's like it's gotta feel like a collaboration, just like anything else we're working with. I don't give a shit if you're the cream of the crop in, you know, LA or where the fuck. It's gotta feel like you actually genuinely give a shit
Not
about
just lip
this
service.
band. No lip service. It's like, no, you're invested in not only our music but our story and who we are as people.
Mm-hmm.
Because at this point, we've done so much by ourselves. I do not doubt we could get that height that we want to do by ourselves.
So how would you want them to show you that they're into you guys and that they're truly they believe in you guys? Like what does the label have to do to show you like our fucks?
Take us out to a nice steak dinner.
Ruth Chris.
Okay, what kind of how you like your steak? Medium well?
Oh, I see what you did there.
No, I think the thing with that, I guess you have to it like again it has to feel real. Like even if it's a label, I think at a certain point, I mean, wouldn't you want to really get to know what it is and what we're fighting for and what it means to us? Because I think, I mean, like, again, we fought a fucking uphill battle to get here, to own our craft, to play guitar, to get shut down a gazillion times. And at this point, it's not like we can't just let somebody come in and take it and switch it, turn it into something it's not.
Right.
You know, keep the team straight, keep it G.
Right. So he needs steak. What do you guys feel like y'all need to see from a label? Like what kind of
bags?
How they pursue you guys? Okay, the bag. You need to see the bag. Okay, what about you?
Yeah, I feel like there would need to be like a fairness and equity. You know what I mean? Like the numbers are important, and so if I feel like I don't have a problem with like, you know, giving them a slice of the pie in order to get their investment back.
Everybody
That's
can
how
eat.
life works.
Everybody
you know what I mean?
can eat.
I have no issue with that. Like, if anything, I would want that to happen because it's like if you're going to get us from, you know, 100 to 1,000, why would I not want to, you know, reward everyone's success? You know, and so I would just want it to be a fair divvy. You know, I would just want it. That's how it was with my folks in Atlanta. You know, it was just a fair contract. You know what I mean? Like it seemed like everyone was just going to win. So that's
and they allow you to still like do music with other people or
absolutely
are you exclusive?
No, that's the goal. The goal is to work with as many
yeah.
folks as
we're
humanly
trying to
possible.
Wu-Tang plan this shit. Yeah, we're trying to
Get a
Wu-Tang
deal.
plan shit.
Everybody got their
Exactly.
own.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I mean, and I think it'd be important if they were like, we just want to spend time around y'all and see what you know.
Yeah,
the
they got to
vibe
be
is,
part
you know
of
what
the
I mean?
vision. Like if you're gonna be part, like you want a percentage in the company, you got to be part of the vision. That means you're part of the team, which means you're part of the. Like if we take an L, you take an L.
I don't want to just be like another cog in the machine,
Exactly.
like getting out of the rat race cog, but then being a cog in the music industry with just another stale contract, you know, that's being given out every day, you know, just on the chance that maybe they'll blow up on TikTok or something, you know what I mean? And we have them in our grasp. You
Yeah,
know,
it's like what Gilmore said, man. It's like what David Gilmore said. Like the band is quite fantastic. That is really what I think. But by the way, which one's Pink? Really give a fuck about the band. They're saying which one of you is Pink Floyd. Like, it's the band. The band was Pink Floyd, and they're like, they just wanted to be creative and do all their music and just release what they can, like together, and not have to worry about like other shit. And then like a label comes around, if they're gonna be like giving me some shit off or something, it's like no, fuck that. Like I'd rather just still be where I am and like try to see if I can get a different opportunity than get screwed over by somebody. As long as there's like an even ground where like. It's like choosing a music producer too, or like a studio producer, audio engineer. You kind of gotta like be on that same level and understand each other's like vision of where you want to be.
Another member of the team, like it's
Yeah.
gonna be a label. They got different roles, but they're still part of the team. So it's gotta feel that way. It doesn't gotta feel like we work. We work this hard to get out of a job, so we don't have no bosses.
Right.
The fuck we gonna have bosses now? You know?
it's the whole from one cog to another thing that I'm like, I don't want to be in the same boat just in the music industry.
Right.
You know, like I want a different lifestyle, and you know, if that's what they can be provided by that, then that's the way we're gonna go. But yeah, I got no problem like saying no. You know what I mean?
For
like
sure.
patience is definitely a virtue.
Hell yeah. Next question. You guys got you guys on tour? Y'all doing shows? What's your schedule like for 2020, 2023? You guys are going on the road? Or?
We got a couple things in the works, just local shows. I think for us, the coming year, we just finished the EP, so it's like we now kind of are gathering the catalog, and this is kind of the year, or the coming year is going to be the year where we come full blazing.
We branch out.
Yeah, we branch out, and we're like, yo, we're here. This is the locals. This is what it sounds like. This is what it is. We're here.
You guys been to Atlanta as a group yet, or? Y'all been down there?
Not yet. It's been Dante's done Atlanta the most.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I've been there a few
Gotcha.
times.
How
but
how'd you like Atlanta?
I like it a lot. I think it's similar to Portland, like weather-wise, and it's cool, and all the people there.
Antifa wise.
Yeah, they have. They got them too down there. I had no idea, but they got that southern hospitality to them. You know, they're very kind and patient with folks, and it's not like New York or L.A. You know,
Bad city.
it's where it's still big. It's still a big city, but it's more brotherly, and I like that. You know, I think everyone's kinder there, and I'm excited for these guys to get down there. You know, I just kind of had to get the wheels turning a bit down there. You know, get some momentum going.
Absolutely.
You know, and so I feel like 2023 is definitely going to be a good year for us to take a trip.
We definitely want to be hitting the cities. I mean, like we're planning just branch out. We're trying to get like some sort of like from Seattle to Tijuana. Tijuana's a big thing that I want to get to. I feel like music would be good there, and then Atlanta, Miami.
Seattle is wide open for y'all. Like, trust me. Like,
yeah.
Seattle
Nah,
is
we taking over.
y'all haven't been to Seattle yet?
I haven't been in a minute.
Seattle's wide open, dude.
I was in
for
Seattle,
bands.
like
You're just
I
there.
was just there to go see a concert.
Yeah, who'd you see?
Some white shit, but but like it was cool.
What's that mean? Like I like white shit. What do you?
It
What
was
you
just
talking
like
about?
some like teenager like white, so like Baby No Money, Young Gravy kind of shit.
Young Gravy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like I fuck
Gravy's
with their
fire.
shit, but like I went to the show. Like this is off
Gravy
just
gonna fuck
just
that
separate
nigga.
from
Yeah,
everything.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
went to the show, it was cool, but like I felt old at that point because it's just like a bunch of, like hear people screaming. I'm like, damn, y'all barely, like your vocal cords aren't even worn out yet. Like
Damn.
like I'm hearing, I can't
Imagine
tell
that's
like
how like the artists feel when they're like, damn, like I don't want all my fans to be that young.
No, yeah.
That's the problem with the TikTok shit too, is it's, you know, kind of skews some of these big artists a certain way, and you're like, I want a variety of age, you know, I want people from all over to be interested.
Yeah.
no, but it's cool. I genuinely I would rather like be in Seattle than Portland. I like it out there, other than when it's cold as hell and snowing and like windy as hell, because it's all uphill. There's lots of drafts going everywhere, but
Oh, I forgot how like uphill that place is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn,
but
yeah.
it's I enjoy going to Seattle. It's beautiful. It's really
Yeah,
pretty.
it's actually snowing now in Seattle.
No, yeah, it was
Yeah.
sunny like 3 days ago, and then it's like boom, snow.
Mm-hmm.
No, but it's Seattle, I haven't seen the music scene, but from what like history has shown, like a lot of grunge really originated. For real, the big four fucking, you got like Nirvana coming out from there, and it's just like a lot of that music also just inspired us too, because we live in fucking Northwest. You get those cold seasons, you get that depressional season, and it's just like it's just the time to cook up, because you got all this emotion, all this angst, all this anger, all whatever from like the world just like shitting on you, and then just like it being dark out and you can't even go outside, pouring down rain, it's raining sideways, the roads are frozen over, it's like just shit, and it's just being able to like know that a lot of great music comes out from this area is really helpful too, to like influence. Like I know like just because our shit isn't the same as this, or it isn't the indie stuff that the wave is going on and all that, it's like it doesn't mean that it's not good. It doesn't devalue what I work on and like try to put out. Like I know, because grunge too, it was like that shit during the hair metal era. It's like everybody's like fuck that shit. It's like it's just like nasty, like people just doing shit, people doing heroin and all that. It's like no, like yeah, they were shooting up, but like that's not the point. It's people were like pushing out music because they were just so like upset and just like angry at the world, at themselves, the existence itself, that like they like let this bullshit of like hair metal pop stuff just kind of like run it. But then you got all these like actual bands that are really good, like the Melvins and shit, just like pushing out heavy like historic music, and like it changed the scene entirely. It influences a lot of people too nowadays too, with like almost like the XXX Tentacion like era. A lot of that stuff like kind of have remnants of grunge, because it's just anger, it's just angst, and it's just wanting to like fight the system, fight whatever is like out there that you like just want to like push back. Essentially that pushback, and that's what like I think very like influential about all that kind of shit in that era.
Pain is beauty.
Based.
Based.
What about Cali? You guys thought about going down and
Yeah,
touring in Cali?
Yeah, that's kind of the thing with us. I mean, we have that connection with it's Latin music, and a lot of it is. I mean, we're inspired by the entire West Coast with our sounds and very influences. Like I was saying before, we were inspired by the corrido tumbado movement with this last EP, and that spun off from LA and Texas and Tijuana. So we want to introduce our version to that as well. So we definitely want to branch out to those cities.
For sure. So, what's the response in Portland to you guys? Like, what's the city saying? Like, what's the fan base like in Portland? Like,
Oh man.
First off, no. Those that know. Those that don't know,
And never will.
and never will.
Yep.
And that's kind of how it is. It's like there's people, and when we do get the opportunity, we get the chance, we get a little slot with and there's people. 9 times out of 10, I'll say we blow them the fuck away. They don't even know what to do. Like I've had people come up to us right after the set. They got that look on their face, like their mind just melted. Like they were like, "You guys were fucking dope. I've never heard anything like that. This, that, and the third." And that's the reaction. That's what we got. And other people, like, I guess I don't know if it's that thing, but that's just kind of we get dismissed. It's either they see it or they don't see it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's like one or the other. Especially with even like me and Kill, like DJ Kill, we play with a lot of times too, and we'll just spin like big rap tracks and I'll just play guitar on them, just doing covers, and we'll get similar responses, where people are like, I can't believe that's going on, or they just don't care at all, so it's just, I don't know, it either catches their attention and they like really get involved, or it's like, why is this happening?
That's also
Like
just
confusion.
That's also one thing that excites me, because that's every like new wave and shit, like punk and all that. People were like, "What the fuck is this? Like, why are y'all are just crashing and yelling shit for no reason? It's like being aggressive and dirty, and it's like, why are you doing all this stuff?" But it's like you get all those other people that actually understand, like the new wave is kicking in and shit's just gonna start rolling. That's one thing people don't understand. Like, just because it's shit, like you don't get it, it's fine. It's totally fine.
Yeah.
You listen
If
to
you
what
don't get
listen
it,
to.
you're not on the new wave. That's all I'm gonna say. We're new wave. Like we're on that next generation. We're trying to make the music for the future, and this is what it is.
For sure. How do you guys interact with your fan base?
Pick them up, say what's up,
Dab them up.
tell them I appreciate them that they come to the shows.
Thank you.
But y'all read that email that I sent y'all in the group chat yesterday?
I did not.
I sent y'all that email. There's like this kid. I don't even know he got my
yeah.
email. He found me and he's just like, bro, like, I just want to say thank you, man. Like, he's like, I listen to you every day. And like, so for me, a lot of those kids are online, that find me. So I just try to write them back and just be like, I appreciate you listening. And
I will say,
I fuck with you.
My bad, but I will say, like, right now, it's like we don't have a crazy amount of fans, at least that engage with us. We engage with everybody that comes up to the show. We always, we talk to them and thank them a lot, especially when we get a good response. And the people that show us love, we show back. I mean, that's the thing. It's like all love always. We show love to people that show us love. We just want to give. Like this, we're just doing us and spreading it out. So yeah, I mean, we're just cool. Like if you show us love, we're gonna show love back. Bars.
Anything else you guys want to communicate to our listeners out there?
I think one thing that I wanted to bring up, but I haven't seen the opportunity to bring it up, was mainly like how we like describe ourselves as like our genre. Is one thing that is like it's always been difficult for me trying to explain to people, because we don't put ourselves in a box. We just have all these inspirations from different variety of artists, musicians, producers, people, just whatever, and we try to just do what we like from everything, and just push it out as the locals. It's really difficult. And then like also just reaching out to people, it's hard to like what kind of music do you play? Like we got a punk night, we got like
Such a
rock
hard
night.
question to answer. Yeah.
And it's like I don't want to hit them with like, oh, like do with like hip hop influence, like rock, but it's not, like rage, but it's not. I don't want to hit them with like it's not this, it's not that, it's not. It's like it's difficult.
It's a little bit of everything, but it's our sound. I would say it's like it's hard, like you were saying, because we play Latin, we'll play Spanish tracks, we'll play reggaeton, we'll play corridos, but then we'll play like heavy metal rage like tracks, and it'll still all sound like us.
I like to tell people it's like the big three. It's rooted in hip hop, it's rooted in Latin music, and it's rooted in rock. But that is saying so much by just saying it's those three. That to keep it simple for folks, that's what I say. We're like those three mixed. But again, it spans. Like we can listen to like a psychedelic record from rock. You know what I mean, and take from that. Like it just starts subdividing and subdividing, and that's kind of when you got to know your history on these different genres.
I'll say this. On top of the locals, we got all of always multiple projects that we're filming. We got Stupid underway. Shout out to Rodrigo's got the recycling plant. It's a thrift store next to Powell's Bookstore in
6th
Portland.
and Ave, Oak and Ave. I think
got to plug everybody out. DJ Peso Bands, also part of Collective. Shout them out. But yeah, just be in tune. I would say we got a year coming up where we're really gonna push hard, and we're gonna bring the world what we've been working so hard to do. And I will say, I'll say it now, y'all ain't gonna like me in my bag, and I'm gonna leave with that.
Facts.
If you guys could leave anything to the kids, like to the generation that's coming up, what is it like?
Zoomers.
Gen Z, yeah.
Me?
If you could leave something encouraging or inspirational, motivational to the next generation, what would you guys say?
I think
individually, I'm asking you all.
I think just keep pursuing what you like doing. Like, don't give a crap about what people are saying. I'm saying crap because
Fuck what everybody thinks.
no, don't cuss. They're
Do
kids,
you?
man. No, but like no.
Now listen, I was a football coach, dude, and I was a little ass kid, man. Coaches, get your ass over there,
Down and backs.
run that damn lap. So shit, it put a fire up
No,
under me.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
I
it made me
feel it.
respect it. So I get what you're saying, though.
No, but yeah, like definitely just keep.
Don't be like me. Be better than
Yeah,
me.
don't take shit from your coach, kids.
Yeah. But definitely just keep pursuing what you want to keep doing, like regardless of what people say and all that. Like just understand that there is some shit that you don't want to do. It's just like some weird, just like I don't even know how to explain it, but it's just like just keep doing what you need to do to like pursue what you want to do to live the life that you want to live. It's really just it. Like, don't give a fuck about what people say. That's what we do. It's like some people shit on like the auto tune that we use on certain songs, and I'm just like, okay, like you don't like it, I don't care. It's like I like what I produce. This is what we wanted to make,
Exactly.
and this is what we're making. And like, it's not gonna stop me from doing what I want to do. And same with like any like hobbies and all that. If you really just like something and you don't like want to make a profit out of it or anything, that's totally fine too. Just if you have fun with it, that's all that matters. It's just enjoying like the cycle of life and gaining new experiences and things like that. Also, like, go to shows, go to concerts, listen to a lot of music, because music connects you to different people. You can listen to music that's Japanese, you listen to folk Japanese music, you can listen to psychedelic Japanese music, psychedelic chicha music from Peru. It just connects you throughout the whole world, and that's one of the big things that like I enjoy about music, is that it connects everybody. You don't have to worry about like some terms, racism and all that. You don't have to worry about bullshit like that.
Universal language.
It is. Music is a universal language. It's noises and all that. Like back in like caveman era, they're just slapping like rock or something, man. And then the shit it slapped, you know. They liked it, and they like hitting drums, and everybody like hitting drums in a circle. It's just like it just you feel it all together. It's not something that is just some bullshit. It's like people just making noises. It's something that everybody can like adjust and agree to, and like understand. Like, yeah, this is something we can all like vibe to in
Either
life.
this shit is jamming or it's not, huh?
Yeah, and that's one thing too. Is like Grateful Dead. A lot of their shit was jam songs, and a lot of people just came and just vibe to it, literally just all together. There's nobody was like dealing with some bullshit like with other people. They were just like all coming together, listening to some dudes playing guitar on acid. That's all it is. Just enjoying everything, enjoying the process of life and existing as a whole. And also, don't be a dick to people, because it comes back.
For sure.
You know who you are.
What about you, X?
I would say for the future generation of this world, Gen Z, and as it go, I've always believed in the kids. I always believed in the youth. You know, we still kind of we keep that young at heart spirit in us, and
I think that's important.
and I would say
I'm still young.
for the kids, you may not know everything, you may not understand everything, but don't ever forget your power, because you guys are the world that we're going into. You guys are leading that way. You know, at the end of the day, this is your world. Yes, you got the older generations and blah blah blah, but the power is in the youth, because that's who's gonna inherit this planet. And don't ever forget that you guys are capable of doing so much more, despite of the world around you may not see it, but you guys are capable of doing so much more. So I definitely would reach out to kids. Just don't forget the power that you guys have. You know, even if you got
Know your worth.
know your worth.
What about you, brother?
Just grow up.
Get a job.
Pay your taxes.
Yeah, to piggyback off what they're saying, I think just always be hungry to learn, and learn something new every day, and just make that a priority. 'Cause knowledge is power, and
Knowledge is power, kids.
Locals for the children.
yeah, I mean, with the phones we got, like it's easy to learn, but it's also easy to get trapped in like rabbit holes and stuff. So that's gonna be a challenge, I think, going forward. Yeah. Still a lot we don't know about, and so much more that it will be. So just keep with the times, check in, learn, and just don't give up, man.
Hang in there. Hang in there. What
Real.
about you, brother?
I think, I think it would be important. Like, it's hard to realize when you're young, but you got a ton of time, so you should leverage. Because, like, it's kind of like what we were saying. Like, we didn't have a lot of means to do stuff, but we had the internet, we had a computer, we had a guitar, so we could start there, and we just had a shit ton of time, So if you can just leverage your time and just keep inputting it into this, the data you want to collect, I feel like over time it'll compound, So I think it's hard for you to understand when you're young, but it's like you have so much time still ahead of you to do what you want. So just stay consistent. Well, like, I don't have a lot of other assets going yet, but I do got that, So leverage that one as best as you got, because a lot of people, I feel like when they get into their 40s, 50s, they're kind of like, fuck, like it's running out, like that asset is not what it once was, and you can't get it back. So you kind of got one chance to leverage it the best that you can. So my advice would be you need to leverage it the best that you can.
Also, learn to let things go. Don't hold grudges on shit. That shit makes you ugly. You get frown lines, you get wrinkles and shit. You look old. Nah. But definitely just like learn to appreciate everything that comes to you. That's like, even if it's nothing crazy, just like appreciate being alive.
Yeah,
definitely.
Being able to do what you do.
The choices you make today shape your world tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's right. That's
Also, recycle.
And you definitely need to question the government, like on
Yeah.
everything they do, like
Yep.
all the time. Like
Yep.
always question the government.
Become
Portland
the government.
just got like a bunch of money because they sued Monsanto. I think it was like 900 or something $1 million. Make sure where they're putting that money is actually going to use.
Yeah.
And if you don't know where it started going, but all that starts disappearing, start questioning it.
So become politically conscious. And
Yes.
I guess for me, I would just say, be quick to listen, be slow to speak, and slow to get angry. And what these guys said.
All
do
love
that too.
always.
Definitely. This has been another episode of the Flow3r Hour Podcast, and I'm your host, the one and only Brown Skin Moses. I got my guys in here, the locals. We out this bitch. Thank you guys for coming.
Appreciate you. You get first
Let's
here.
get it right. Let's get it right. There you go. Get it right. Get that right, man. Fuck with my guys, man. And we out. Happy holidays. Happy holidays to everybody.
Merry Christmas.